Welcome to Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. I am your host, Miss D. On this weekly show, you will tune in to discussions of different topics about today's society, culture, and adulthood. Of course, there's always juicy conversation with a little bit of love and plenty of sex. And let's not forget the stories of all relationships and the mess with relationships. Join me every week along with my friends and guests to get your dose and keep it raw on everything and anything. And remember, no topic is off limits. And then that's when you get drained.
Exactly.
Literally, your throat is fucking parched to shit.
And at the end of the day, that's when now he has realized, oh, she's dope as fuck. Like, she's got me here. Like, imagine where we can go now. And it's like, I'm tapped out, dude. I don't want to give you no more. I don't want to do this no more. Tap.
All right, well, we started a whole conversation. This might actually be a blooper.
I'm down with it.
All right, guys. We're ready to get started. First of all, where's your glass? We're going to, because we popped open a bottle of champagne today, because this is the New Year's Eve special episode. Yes. And I have here for you guys a returning guest, my very good friend Stephanie. Welcome back to the show.
Hey.
Welcome back, guys, to Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. You guys already know I am your host, Miss D. And this is going to be a really, should I say interesting? I always say interesting. It's not going to be interesting. No, it is. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be an entertaining New Year's Eve special episode with some champagne. We're in celebration because that's the theme, right? If you guys already know, it's going to be lit. We're already tuned in. Yeah, you guys have already been tuning into my episodes and my mini-sodes. You guys already know we're not going to feel guilty and celebrating and being happy. We're going to do things the way we need to. We're not going to be sad.
Not at all.
Do you cry when New Year's Eve comes around? I mean, with the exception of 2020, pre-2020, do you cry?
You know, like, I've never really cried. But the older I get, the more I understand. Like, I've seen my mom cry, but I'd only seen her cry like towards like when she got older in her life.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting, and I've seen my brother. My brothers turn into wimps. Like, I've seen them cry. But I feel like the older you get, that's when you start to like realize like, wow, how much has happened, how much you've done, or what you've been through, and what you've gotten over and overcome. So I get why the tears of joy or the tears of sorrow,
right.
Or the tears of just like letting it out, like it's done.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
I may do it this year.
Okay. I feel you. So I became a crier on New Year's Eve years ago. I wasn't always a crier, right? Because we were mostly worried about eating the 12 grapes.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody had to run to get the 12 grapes. So, you know, before I even go into the whole icebreaker, the icebreaker is going to be a short one, but let's take it back. So a few mini-sodes ago, I shared about how for the holidays, specifically for New Year's Eve, you had to wear yellow underwears. Did you ever hear about that shit?
No.
My mom always used to buy us yellow underwear.
No, clean underwear though, right?
Clean.
Brand new.
Well, I mean, I hope.
Yeah, always should be clean. It always should be clean, yeah.
We should
only
be wearing...
if you can't get brand new, then you're definitely wearing like...
Right, so it has to be washed, right? You
want to come into the new year clean.
Right.
Like,
if not, it should be brand new, like take the tags off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But my mom had this thing with yellow underwear.
That's dope. I kind of like that.
I have no yellow underwear this year. No, I had no time to shop. So I'm going to go on a hunt tomorrow.
For yellow underwear?
Because I got one last chance to find... No, I don't have one last chance tomorrow. I still got time. Yeah. But the point is, I just got to go find yellow underwear. And if I don't find yellow underwear, I'm going to figure out what the fuck I'm going to wear with yellow in it.
It's kind of cool, though. Now I'm going to get yellow underwear.
Okay.
Too.
All right. So
I love the color yellow. So
I am not going to post pictures of my yellow underwear, but I'm going to find yellow underwear.
I'll send you a text.
All right. Send me a text. Just send me a text, guys. Okay. The 12 grapes at midnight. We all had to have a cup. The kids, the adults, and eat the 12 grapes of at midnight. Leading to midnight.
Yes.
And we had to stand around the TV. Well, okay. So if you guys have just tuned in for the first time, Stephanie was on a show before. In the show notes, I will link that episode there. We talked about local politics, the importance of it. But Stephanie and I actually go way back to where my old hood was. I believe you met my grandmother.
Yeah.
Yes. You remember my grandmother, God rest her soul. You know my family, majority of my family, right? And so I believe Stephanie may at some point in time walked by the third floor and heard some of our parties.
Oh, of course. New Year's on Clay was like the best. That was the best. That was the first year I ever like told mommy, "Ma, I'm sorry, but I'm not having New Year's with you. Pa que fue eso, yo?"
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that was the
She
worst.
done cussed you the
Because
fuck
I was like,
up.
"What? How am I gonna learn how to do this on my own when you're not around? Like, I kind of
Dito.
gotta try once."
Yeah,
Yeah, she was really sad.
Yeah,
But that was
yeah.
just the one time I did it without her.
Clay
It was at
Avenue,
Clay.
New
Oh my
Year's
God, it
Eve.
was so much fun.
Every floor there was a fucking party.
Yo, what?
Every floor there was a fucking
Yo.
party.
Every floor.
And then it was like,
And I want to say, if I remember correctly, I want to say like after the ball dropped, everybody was popping something.
right.
Like champagne
And
or
it was
something.
like the fucking United Nations.
Yes.
There was like different genres on every floor too.
Yeah, and every floor, like I was lucky. I was cool with everyone on every
floor.
floor. So I got food, drinks everywhere. Like,
that was such
No
a good
doubt.
time. Such a good time back then. So we all used to be the whole family, 70 people. In today's world of COVID, that would not be acceptable, but it would just be like fucking 70 people in my grandmother's fucking living room. Okay. So that was the B side. So you know what
Yeah.
that B side looked like. Imagine that little living room, that little sala with all those people and eating the fucking 12 grapes leading to midnight, right? So
Yeah.
it was the grapes, the yellow underwear. I remember seeing people cry. I remember seeing people hug. But, you know, I come from a family of immigrants, right? And so the main thing was, while we were with the majority of my dad's family, my mom didn't always have her family there.
Yeah.
Majority of family was still back home in Ecuador.
yeah.
So she would always get very emotional because of that. According to my older siblings, back in the day before before D, my dad was a DJ. So he and my uncle, my uncle got rest his soul too. They used to DJ at Ecuadorian New Year's Eve parties.
Nice.
Because there was like a whole Ecuadorian community, guys, out in fucking Queens, I swear. So I think it was in Queens. And they would go do DJing, right?
Okay.
So considering that, right, like my mom only had us, and then my dad stopped the DJing. He would be with us too. But she would get really emotional because our family was back home. Her family was back home. She didn't have her siblings. She was just with us. And she would, you get emotional at this, with the ball drops. I used to be like, I didn't understand why people cried.
Mm-hmm.
And then I became a fucking adult. And then I became a parent. And then it became a thing of, I do cry, I get emotional, right? I remember the New Year's Eve that I had with my big ass pregnant belly about to give birth any month now. Yes, I remember that. And then, very transparently, I had shared this with someone not too long ago. I don't think I shared this on any episode, but I remember making a promise at one point that even if it meant I cried, I would never skip the ball dropping at midnight, because one year I did.
Okay.
And I'm talking about when I was a kid and probably fell asleep on chairs.
Okay.
No, I am talking about the year that I was newly separated on my way to a divorce.
Okay.
And I was like in a very deep depression. And so I just grabbed my kid. I told my family I'm leaving. All I did was go across the hall, though, because me and my sister are still neighbors across the hall to this day. I went across the hall in the building and I was like, I'm going to sleep. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to deal with anybody. I was just so terribly, terribly depressed. I went to bed and I did not wait until the ball dropped.
Wow.
And when I woke up the next morning, I regretted it so fucking much. And I swore that day, never again am I missing seeing a new year.
Yeah.
And I never again
Okay.
miss the new year. So with that being said, even if I fucking cry, I'm there at midnight looking at that ball drop, hitting another year. But especially with this year, right? And this being a New Year's Eve special, there's certain things I want to put out there on today's episode, because some of us are going to cry. Some of us are not going to cry. Some of us are going to be in joy with our family, 10 or less.
Some of us are going to be drunk off our asses.
Some of you drunk over our asses. Like we're halfway there right now. We should be happy. Even if you're crying through it, we should be happy, because at the end of the day, New Year comes in, the ending of the previous one presents itself.
Yeah.
And so while for most people it's a sad goodbye or a happy goodbye, the fact is we're seeing another year, right? And so for me, the real celebration of another year of life is definitely my birthday. But, for the world, it's kind of like that New Year's Eve, right? It's like all of us get to share that one day. All of us get to celebrate that. Yeah, all of us, no matter where we are in the world, right? It's like a moment for all of us to just be there with funny hats and noisemakers and bottle of champagnes. So...
have you ever done like a New Year's outside of the United States?
No.
I would love to.
So my mom went back home
Oh my God.
years ago with my dad and my brothers. She was hesitant to go because you already know we've always been like so stuck with each other.
Yeah.
She didn't want to leave me and my sister. And we're like, we ain't fucking going. Like, I got work. I got my
Like, I got
son.
shit to do.
We got shit to do. Like, we're not gonna go, but y'all could go.
Yeah.
And we told her to go. And she went for like more than a month. She has so much fun.
I can imagine.
I have a friend actually. Shout out to Rumi. He was one of my first guests. He actually 1 year spent the holidays in, I think it was Barcelona.
Ooh.
I might be wrong, guys. I'm gonna bring him back, but he did have a solo trip, and he went and saw different cities in Europe, and it was leading into New Year's, and
so
it was
dope.
fucking dope as shit.
That is dope.
Yes,
So that's the one thing I want to definitely make sure I like knock off my bucket list.
yes,
I would love to have because once you settle down, like you got to worry about someone else's feelings, right? So I would love to like have a New Year's somewhere other than where I'm normally at, just to, have that memory.
yeah. I think that if I do it, you guys already know I have a teenager. I probably wouldn't take my teenager with me.
You wouldn't?
No, I would like to experience that momentum alone. But then I also sometimes rethink that I'm like, I'm so used to always having my kid with me.
Yeah.
Like, I would probably want to make sure he's with his dad.
Yeah.
For me that he won't be alone.
Just make sure your phone is on, because that's the first call. I think when you're not with your parent, which like I said, I've done once, the first person you call is like mom or dad. Like,
see, I'm not
Happy
used to
New
being that
Year.
parent.
Exactly.
So I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I ain't
Make
shit.
sure your phone.
I was totally like on my phone. What?
No,
I
because
ain't
they
shit.
got to make that call.
I ain't shit. I
And,
wasn't even thinking
lines
about
be
that.
down.
I haven't even purchased a fucking plane ticket, and I didn't even think of that shit. This is terrible. This is disgusting, guys. Okay, so, this was fun chat on the New Year's Eve special, and in the essence of New Year's Eve and what we're planning, this is going to be a full-on detox episode.
Maybe we should have detoxed instead of drinking champagne.
This is a detox. We're detoxing. In
With
my
champagne?
book, this is a detox.
Okay.
Normally, I'm doing wine. This is champagne.
Okay.
It's a detox in my book. So we're going to open up with a very quick icebreaker. And this icebreaker is like no other. I've never done it before. Okay.
Ooh.
It's going to be very simple. We are going to share just 3 highs of 2020, but we're going to do it fast. Like, you got to give me all 3 at once.
Okay.
So do you want to go first or I go first?
No, you go first.
Me go. All right. I'm going to go first. She's going to count off.
Right.
Okay. All
right. Ready, set, go.
Launch my pod, Jamaica, and expanding my brand.
Nice.
I didn't even know how to put the last one in words because I didn't want to like dish out the whole thing. But yeah, expanding my brand.
I love it.
Yes. There's new moves coming up. New moves. We're moving a little different. Not funny, not shady. Different, leveled up. I'm excited. You hear my nervousness though?
Yeah.
It's still there because I'm still human. I'm a tough bitch. I'm a G. I can be. But like any new adventures, you still get a little nervous.
But
right?
that's the good part. You just got to make that fear or nervousness into like excitement.
Yes. So I'm smiling while I say that because that's me trying to.
You got this.
I know. It's a detox. I'm detoxing from all negativity, all the, the ups and downs. Not the ups, but more so the downs, the lows. So this is why I wanted to start with our 3 highs of 2020. Because let's face it, 2020 was full of a lot of lows. And we're not going to ignore them. But I just want to set the tone with our highs. So just taking a sip. Do you want to refill that?
I do.
Might as well.
I do.
Just going to refill it.
Should I refill yours?
Sure.
I feel like I'm totally taking.
The last time I had champagne this much was my birthday. I was taken out by a gentleman who I know we had sex. I just don't remember having sex.
Wow.
And
it was what type of champagne was it?
I don't know. It was on the house.
Oh, well, that's always the best champagne.
Yeah, it was disturbing. I got really fucked up. It was bad.
Gotcha.
The combination of champagne, Shirley Temples, Hennessy, and weed is not good.
Yeah.
I remember those things because I took pictures of it.
I'm planning. That sounds like my New Year's Eve like plan. Like that's on the guest. That's on the list.
Steph is gonna send me pictures. She's gonna send me text messages, and I'm gonna be like, "Bitch,
I don't know.
Don't text no one else. Hand over your phone right now." Don't do it, Steph. Don't do it. Where's your friend? Pass her the phone right now.
Do I have you on my close friends? Because that's where I post all my crazy.
Add me. Add me now today. Okay, so are you ready? Okay, ready?
Okay.
Set.
Go. My bachelor's degree. Making another year at the new agency I'm with, the city agency I'm with. And my last one is ready.
Yes.
I guess, can I count it even though it's not, I started to pay for it, but it's not going to go into, except it starts off in the new year.
That's okay. But did you start it now? The process?
I paid for it.
There you go.
And classes start in January.
Oh, what'd you pay for?
LSATs. I'm going to take my LSATs.
Yes.
That's the reason I got my bachelor's degree. Honestly, I wanted to make sure I had options. And
yes.
The option was always to go to law school.
You know what? That's when you took your first step. So it counts.
Yes.
It's still in 2020.
Yes.
So it counts. So 3 highs of 2020. You guys heard that? We're making moves. That is so dope. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I got to say, I don't know if you know who JC Polanco is.
Yes.
Ay, Dios mío, ese tipo. He had a podcast with this guy, and I'm so sorry I don't know the guy's name, but good looking guy. And I was like, yo, like he was talking about go to law school. It's an investment in you and whatnot. And I was like, you know what? Like, why not? Like, why not? With everything that has 2020, right? Like how we started 2020, we would have never believed in God's green earth that Trump would have been president. Never. Like, let's be honest, right? Like, right. And I remember getting into Dominican cab, and the Dominican driver was telling me like, oh, tú sabes, you never know what could happen. I was like, yo, if Trump became president, anything could happen. Like, I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
But you're right.
So I'm in that whole mindset that like, listen, there's no limit. Just take it, try it. Let's see where this goes. And if I fail, I fail. Like, whatever.
It's so fucking crazy because on this week's mini-sode, Baby Let Me Know, the Aaliyah song resonated with me. That's why I titled it that. Okay. We need a resolution in the essence of New Year's Eve resolutions. I know it's a fucking relationship song, but when you think about 2020, and I posted this shit.
We need a resolution.
Thank you. 2020 felt like one of the most fucked up toxic relationships I've ever had in my entire life.
Yo, but did you see the Match.com commercials?
No.
With the devil in 2020? Oh, I gotta put you on. I definitely gotta put you on. I gotta send this to you.
What kind of shit is it? Why am I not? Why do I miss these things?
So it's like the devil met 2020 and they're like the perfect match. And he's like, I don't ever want this year to end. And she's like, me neither.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry. You know, I'm restoring my faith. I am. I'm working on it. But that part,
I think it's true.
Absolutely. That's exactly what the fuck this shit has felt like. And when you do think about it like that way, I mean, yeah, we should have thought about this shit. If Trump became fucking president, y'all know I hate saying his name. I don't ever say his name, but I'm gonna say it. If he fucking became president, anything is fucking possible.
Anything.
But the point to this is that we're detoxing. We're letting it all go. We're gonna see a new year coming in.
A new president.
A new president. Oh, say that again. A new president. And most importantly, a new Madame Vice President. Well, you guys, I'm gonna link the episode in the show notes because that's what Steph and I talked about the last time. You know, it's just exciting that there's some hope, and I'm going to sound so cliche and so dramatic right now, but there's hope on the horizon. And there is, for a lot of reasons, for a lot of things. There's a lot of hope right now. And so
we got the vaccine coming.
You know,
it's already here, right?
It's already here. And I still have my mixed feelings about it. Okay. I still haven't decided which route I'm going to go. I'm going to be honest. Okay. I am a healthcare worker. My audience knows that. So I know it will be available to me at some point. But I still have my sentiments about it. I'm still not fully sure.
Understood.
I have to do more research. I have to like really look into this to then decide, you know, if I'm gonna give this I hate to say this, if I'm gonna give this a shot or not.
I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. I feel I feel like I risk my life every day with the crazy things that I do. I'm gonna be fine.
A lot of people do feel that way. No. A lot of people do feel that way. And that's fine. You gotta respect that.
Yeah.
A lot of people in a lot of industries, you know, a lot of fields feel that they do risk their lives already. Every day is a risk. God forbid, my tables has like real wood. Okay. We walk outside right now, some shit could happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? So God forbid. But I'm saying,
no, definitely. There was a shootout like not so long ago in my block at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Sunday.
Let's just keep it
and
real.
I'm literally just standing there and I'm like, are you serious? Like,
and it could have hit anybody, right? God
Anybody.
forbid. But it could have hit anybody.
And it wasn't like two people. It was just
Right.
a random person just wanting to shoot out.
Right. Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Like, honestly, I'm cool. I'll just take the vaccine and call it a day.
Exactly. So,
but I understand people's like, you know, I want to take it. I want to take some time, think about it, do my research. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Listen, being that I work in healthcare, you know, I have a front view of certain things.
Yes.
So, you know, the decisions are not always easy to make, you know, and this is not the first vaccine I've had to make a decision for, not just for me, for my child.
Yeah.
You know, even something as small as the flu vaccine, you know, I've always gotten it, but then it makes you start thinking as you get older, like, but is this really the right decision to make?
I have never gotten it. This is the first year I got the flu shot.
I did it. I've always done it for my son too.
But it's also because my friend recently had a baby, and like I didn't want no excuse not to be around the baby.
Okay, no, fair enough.
I was like, nah, you can't. I got my flu shot.
Yeah, fair enough. Like there's a lot of things.
But I think if it had not been for that, I probably wouldn't have gotten my flu shot either.
Yeah. I think that there's different things that are as we continue to, you know, science continues to develop these things, whether it be for COVID, whether it be for the flu or for anything else, there's always going to be people who are going to want to do the research. There's always going to want to be people who are like game, spot on. Like, I got no problems with this shit. I'm going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
So, but I do think that whether you choose to do it or not, just do your research. That's it. So when you make the decision, it is with a purpose. Decision. And I respect everyone's decision and their reasons why to not want to take it or to want to take it.
Yeah.
Period. For some people, they are looking forward to the vaccine that it's coming. For some of them, it will be in 2021. I know plenty of people who already got it. Again, I'm in healthcare.
It's 2, right? You have to take 2.
So, and they seem to be doing okay so far. I do know that for 2021, that's going to be something that some people are going to look forward to. And for some, that's their 2020 high, to be honest. Okay, so that was a quick icebreaker.
Yes.
I just wanted to set the tone on some things that we're happy about, that we're able to still look back on and be able to indulge over and to be in bliss with.
Which by the way, let me just say, I feel some type of way with CUNY because, I know we didn't have a graduation, right? So why you couldn't put my degree in like a nice...
How they sent it to you?
They just sent it in a cardboard.
You know.
Like, and it was just a paper. I was like, yo, Bronx community did better, right? And like, this is a 4-year school. I'm not going to say the name of the school, but you could look me up and find out what 4-year school I graduated from. Yeah, like I just expected it to be like in a nice, you know, you didn't
better presentation.
You didn't do a graduation. Like, give me something nice.
Yeah,
like,
no, better presentation. Yeah. I agree with you. I didn't even think about asking people how did that look like for them. But yeah, you're right. It could have been a little bit better. CUNY, I got to do better.
Like that really, I'm not gonna lie, that really hurt me because I was really looking forward to that graduation.
Yeah,
I had plans to throw like a huge party graduation because it's birthday graduation at the same time, and it didn't work out that way. So
it ain't never too late. Let 2021 be right. You do it. You're right. It's never too late.
Hopefully by then I'm also celebrating like high LSAT scores. Let's put that out there.
We all invited. We're all invited. We might just have a live show right there. I don't know.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
Just saying. All right. So now that we've shared our 3 highs, we are going to go right into the segment of As Raw as It Gets. If you are tuning in for the first time, you already know that. Well, you wouldn't already know. If you are returning, you would already know what this segment is about. But if you're new for the first time, welcome. You could add this to your high of 2020. But this segment is where we cover just different controversial shit, culture shit, social media, sex, love, relationships, and relationships. Sometimes even stuff on the news. Not so much of current events, but, just general things we may see. There's a full disclaimer on this. No topics, of course, are ever off limits. Not from the host to the guest or from the guest to the host. Listen, this is raw talk. So sometimes my guests be making me talk. So I am going to call this, of course, we know this is a time for a detox, but I'm going to call this Survey Says. And so I had posted, I have made a poll on social media. And it was like these questions that I had asked, right? And one of the first question was about relationships with like lovers, with dating, the talking stage, right? Okay. And so I had posted this question out there, and I wanted to see what was the inside of some people. So if any of you listeners are dealing with anybody in the talking stage, or you've been just, dating, or even if you are in a relationship, this is not about bashing anybody. That's not what the fuck this is about. This is just think of this as a cleanse, a detox right now with champagne. I'm gonna give y'all 2 seconds to go fill up your cup if you're listening anywhere. Cup of coffee, cup of wine, fine, whatever.
Cup of coquito.
Cup of coquito. Y'all, Steph bought me some coquitos today. I'm going to be lit. And we're just going to dive in because there was 2 questions. First question that I posted on my IG story on Double Dose of Miss D's page in reference to what are the red flags in the talking stage or in a relationship. I had several people respond. Okay. But before I share with you what these people responded, I wanted to know your take on what, in the cleansing and detox of the epitome of it, of this episode, what would you say are certain red flags that you know in the talking stage with someone or even in being in a relationship?
Okay, so it's a big flag to me when someone disappears.
Oh.
Like, and you, that's always in the first stages. It's always like either
like ghosting?
Not ghosting so much, but like, weekends I'm busy. Sorry, I can't answer you. Like, what? Why you can't text me back? I don't understand. Nah, I'm with the kids. Like, what? Or, the whole, I gotta go with my dad here. I'll talk to you when I can. Or one that I'm guilty of, like, sorry, I'm driving. Can't talk right now.
I hate that. It is 2020, sir. What do you mean you can't talk right now?
Well,
if you're driving?
Speaking, I'm trying to get my license, so I can't drive and text. Like, I'm not doing that. But so it was a good one for me. But I have used it, in situations where I really can't text you because I'm with someone else.
Okay. Fair enough.
But it's like, I'm texting and I'm driving, can't text you right now.
Right.
But yeah, that's a big red flag in the talking stages when you disappear.
Right.
Especially when it's like disappearance that are scheduled.
I'm not gonna be available next weekend.
Yeah, like, huh? How you won't have 5 minutes to say hello through a text? Like, that is so sus. Like, nah.
I'm mad sus. I dealt with one of those, if I'm gonna be honest.
What's another one in the talking stages? I don't know if you could tell. Like, I was having this conversation with my friends, and a lot of my friends were like, "Oh, baby mamas." I'm not baby mamas, but like, like mama boys. But I don't think you could tell that in the first stages of talking, can you?
No, yeah, you can. If his mama's calling a little bit too much, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. And he picks up.
I've been very lucky. I haven't had any mama's boys.
Have I had any mama's boys?
I don't think so.
I mean, I wouldn't say my ex-husband was a mama's boy, but he was probably the one that was closest to his mom.
I've had people who were damaged by their moms.
I've had those.
Is that
plenty
messed
of
up
those.
to say? Like,
No. I've had plenty of those, and it's not to say in a messed up way or fucked up way. It's just a fact. In some of those cases, they've mended their relationship with their mom. In some of those cases, they haven't.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna call it out because it's definitely fucked with my relationship. So, yeah, that's definitely. I've never thought of that as a red flag, but I will say this: like, I feel like I have a son. He's a teenager, and I feel like that's definitely one of my things with him. Like, I know he's a very loving kid and he adores me, but I try to always put that, like, you could love me. Yes, I'm your mama. Okay. I will fuck up anybody. I will kill anybody for you. Absolutely. Yeah. But chill. Like, at some point, you're going to have to move out. You're going to have your own relationship. Like, you're gonna have to do your own thing. Like, we not white on rice. Like, that's not what we're going to do. Because I've dealt with, like, either the toxic mom relationship that a son has. I've dealt with that. Or I've dealt with what I said, like the one that was like the closest to his mom, which was a little bit too close for me.
Yeah, which is still toxic. It's just
a
different type of toxicity.
She was all up in a business.
Yeah. And I will say for my brothers, I think my mom was that person who was always like way too involved in their relationships.
Okay.
Way too involved. And I know for my sister-in-laws, like it was just like,
it was a lot.
It's too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will say that. And I did see from my sister-in-law, especially one sister-in-law that I have that has 2 boys, like she, what you do is not my business. I don't get involved in it.
Got it.
But I do remember my mom being way too involved in their relationship.
All right. So, but I agree with you. If you're dealing with Houdini, or you're dealing with somebody who might remotely possibly still be breastfeeding, that's a problem. There's no other way for me to put this shit. Yeah. I mean, this is really
Houdini
what this is.
And breastfeeding.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's really what this is. I have to say, if I'm going to give a red flag in the talking stage, the disappearing act is definitely one. I dealt with that actually. And in the beginning, I didn't quite catch on, and then I did.
Okay.
And it was just like, all right, I know what the fuck I'm dealing with now.
Okay.
And I played the game for as long as I could, but I picked up on a few things.
Yeah.
And it was like, I get it now.
Yeah.
You know, and there was multiple people involved. And it was like, holy fucking shit. I think I said it in the episode with the tarot card reader. When the palm reader stopped me about the guy with the letter J, and he was tall, and he was bald. It was him.
Oh,
It
wow.
was him. Yeah. And it was definitely the Houdini act ever so often, mostly on the weekends.
Okay.
Primarily when he would go see his child.
See what I'm talking about?
See, that's the bullshit.
And I also think like it is a difference in certain ages.
Mm-hmm.
We are of a different age where the men that we're probably talking to, right, or the significant other that we're probably talking to probably has kids.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but then you do have the few that don't have kids, and it's like, I'm busy working. What?
Listen, I've dealt with that shit too. I've dealt with the whole I'm busy. But let me say this, like, y'all know I don't incriminate nobody. I say this all the time. I'm not saying no names, no nicknames, no nothing. Although we just had a fantastic conversation about Stephanie's nicknames. I am amazed, and I might step up my nickname game.
I love
in 2021.
nicknames. You definitely have to, especially if you don't care for them. That's kind of how you like
I don't even
dehumanize
save them.
them. I know
I
that's
don't
so
save
horrible.
I don't save their numbers. I
mean,
don't.
I gotta save numbers because I gotta know who's calling me.
So let me be honest, guys. Okay, I hope he doesn't listen to this, and if he does, he's probably gonna text me about it. So there's this
Do
guy.
I know him? Because I'll text him and tell him.
No. There's this guy I talked to like many years ago, right? I ghosted him, and then we made peace.
Yeah. How did y'all make peace though? Wait, like you ghosted him, and how did that happen?
He found me, and I responded, and I was just like, he wants answers as to why I ghosted him, right?
Okay.
So I agreed to meet up with him, and I agreed to give him answers. I'm getting parched. Let me drink some of my champagne.
I feel like I got the light under you too.
Yeah. I agreed to give him answers, and I did give him answers, and I did not save his number, right? Okay. So I had just texted with him though, so I had known who he was, right? So I really didn't speak to him that often since that last time, which was like maybe like 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
The other day.
Did you just say the other
Yesterday.
I thought I was a little tipsy. I was like, wait, what? She didn't say the other day.
The other day, yesterday, I got a text message, but it wasn't through text messaging. It was through a different app.
Oh.
Saying, that I looked beautiful, those are the dimples I fell in love with or whatever. First of all, I don't have dimples, but okay. If you saw dimples in that picture, sure, no problem. And he said,
you do have dimples.
Where?
Bro, you have like a dimple right like
she
there.
said, bro, you have like a dimple.
Like no, right? Like literally
Where?
right there.
That's a dimple?
Yes.
Well,
that's an indentation. Like, yes, that's a dimple.
That's an indentation.
That's a dimple. That's what a dimple is, an indentation when it goes in.
No.
Like it doesn't. No, look. Like if you don't smile, it goes away. As soon as you smile, it comes. Yeah, that's a dimple, bro. You probably think a dimple's supposed to be right here.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
No, dimples could be anywhere in that area. That's a dimple.
It turns out I have a dimple. This is my high number 4 of 2020. I've just found out I have a dimple. I mean, I think I've been told that before. I just never believed it. But if Stephanie says so, I believe her.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now I'm a liar. But anyway.
But you're not lying to me because you pointed it out. And you call me bro. Bye. So, and I'm going to make it to your close friends now. So, so he said all of this. And when I went to the app, this app, you have pictures. It's WhatsApp.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So when I saw it, I was like,
yeah, WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a snitch. It tells you when your phone is like dying. It tells the other person when your phone is dying. Everything. When you're getting another call, if you're on another call, like.
I know, that's why I be talking to my men on that.
I don't feel WhatsApp. I don't like that shit.
All the time.
No.
But anyway, the point is he messaged me through there, but I did not necessarily have him saved.
So you didn't know.
But I saw the message,
okay.
Right? And I saw the fucking picture. And I was like, oh, that's him. Ooh. So I just said, LOL. Thank you.
Sorry, I ignored you a couple months ago.
I say that to say I probably should have named him Ghost. I don't know. But, but
are you a Power fan?
Well, yeah, I am. But he's not Ghost. He's not Ghost caliber.
So we don't disrespect Ghost.
You're right. But I only thought of that because I ghosted him.
Yeah.
But I don't save them. Like, if, to your point, like if I don't care, I don't even waste my time to give a nickname. I just don't save you.
What? Then how do you tell the stories?
I just remember. I have good memory.
Nah, but I don't like to give them a name because God forbid you telling the story to somebody who may know them.
Shut up, Steph, because I told you a story. That's exactly what happened.
Right, but
I slipped and I gave you the name.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, you
so
know
that's
it.
why you give them the nickname.
You're right. Okay, so for 2021, I'm going to start giving nicknames.
Just really only do this for people you really don't like. Honestly, all jokes aside, you should do it for people you don't care about. If you care about the person, you should not give them like a nickname. Like that's
Fair
kind of
enough.
because you're kind of well, at least in my case, and maybe I'm horrible, but I kind of that's the way I protect my heart. Like I dehumanize them,
Ooh.
and this is so fucked up. But that's the way I protect myself. Like the only people I will ever name are people that like
You give a fuck about.
no, I didn't give a fuck about. Like
Okay.
if I didn't give a fuck about you, you will have a nickname or someone who like did so much damage that like you're giving a nickname now. Like Pigeon, like I told you about Pigeon.
Right.
Definitely, I'm giving him a nickname because you hurt me so bad. Like I definitely don't want to ever remember you being anything human to me. Like I don't want to have any respect for you at all.
Okay. This is part of her detox, so take notes.
I need therapy.
No, well, okay, yeah, maybe. All right, so let me give you some of the answers I got. Some of the red flags in the talking stages or in dating or being in a relationship: not having anything of substance to speak about. Don't good morning and good night me to death. Okay. Then
Good morning, good night me to death, please. Like, because then I know you're still interested. Like, if you're having a busy day.
I've dealt with a man who continued the...
Well, all they did was good morning, good night?
No. But he continued the good morning and good night with still feeling some type of way because he wasn't man enough to say how the fuck he was feeling. So for that, don't good morning and good night. Give me some more substance. So I could really fill you out.
I guess.
Okay. Once it becomes that routine shit, I'm going to need to get a little bit of more clarification from you.
No, granted. Like, if that's all you're giving me, then yes.
Okay.
That's no substance, right?
No substance.
Yeah, but I feel like...
You want, like substance
added
to that.
Yeah, like, I still want my good mornings, how was your day?
Okay.
Type, like,
how'd you sleep? Does that go a long way for you?
I love shit like that. Pendeja.
She's like holding onto her chest and she just called herself a pendeja.
Yeah, like
I can't
hit me up like, hey, good morning, babe. How you doing? I did great. I don't know. I like it. I like
good morning with nudes.
Yeah. I definitely need more substance. It's just not good morning, good night.
That's my substance. I send a nude. That's my substance. I have no shame. I do. And as I always say, only 2 men in my life have gotten fucking nude for me. So there. Some more red flags: brushing off concerns as no big deal, inconsistency.
Yes.
Not taking a person's feelings into consideration.
I'm guilty of that.
Okay. Yes. Disrespect. Huge.
I'm sorry. You're disrespecting me in the talking phases. Why are we still talking?
Well, okay, but even be that in your relationship. Like, what if they don't get there in the talking stage?
I thought we were talking just about talking
stage.
No,
we're talking both. We're talking both.
Oh, in a relationship, most definitely.
Well, because even in the talking stage, sometimes some people give passes. Oh, he didn't mean it. Oh, we're just getting to know each other. Some people are like that. And then it becomes an even bigger red flag when you're in the relationship.
Okay.
Think about it. Okay. Think about it. Clearly, I have experience with that bullshit. But yeah. Think about it. Disrespect, I'm really huge on. Watch how you talk to me. Watch what you say to me. I don't give second chances. So if I give you a second chance, you better cherish that.
I think moving forward in 2021, there should be no second chances.
Oof.
I think too many of us give second chances. Me being one of them. I definitely.
Me being another one.
I love seeing the underdog.
Oh,
right.
Yes.
But it's like, at the end of the day, this underdog has broken my heart way too many times. Like, I'm good on you, bro.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm hoping to be able to stick to that. But I know how I am. Yeah, I know how I am. I know how I am. I'll be fucking up. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be fucking up. I have a greater chance at losing 10 more pounds than sticking to that. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest because y'all already know this is raw fucking talk. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
We definitely need to stop giving people second chances.
Yeah,
because once What is it? I always hear, what's that saying? Like, once a person shows you who they are, believe them.
Yeah. Like,
I think we too many times give excuses to people.
Too many. Yeah, you're right.
Like,
and that's in anything.
No, that's not what they like you said. Oh no, that's not what they meant. You know.
And that's in anything. That could be friendships. That could be these type of relationships. That could be
my God,
anywhere and
friendships
everywhere.
all the time.
All the time. No ownership to small issues.
Okay.
It's the little things that count. You've heard that before.
Yeah.
That goes for the positive and the negative.
But I also feel like sometimes we get over dramatic on stupid shit. I had a friend once that she was dating a guy. This is way back in the day, like when Sex and the City was a thing.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
And he watched he watched like Sex and the City with us, and he fronted like he didn't know any of the characters or anything, right? So we're all like explaining and whatnot. And then, like, my friend, like, dipped out the room, and he was like, yeah, I'm lying. I've been seeing this. I know it all. And I thought, oh, my God, that's so cute. You just want to, like, show how into it you are because of her. Right? And I remember telling her.
That's what you thought?
That's literally what I think. Hey, just like pendeja. Hello. So I literally, like, I'm telling her, I was like, oh, like, she got so mad. Like, what the fuck? Why would he lie about that? Imagine what else he was like. And I'm like, yo, you're making a big deal. But I guess.
But it's the little things.
I guess like that to me is like, I'm not gonna.
For the record, in the essence of detoxing and cleansing, can we please define what a pendeja is for my listeners?
Oh, like a stupid ass. Like you get played real quick. Like,
that's a pendeja. So you have pendejas for a female and pendejos for a male.
Yeah.
In our case, we would be pendejas. Okay, just for the record.
Oh my God, the way I was taught what that really meant back in the day is so much dirtier than how I'm explaining it.
I'm sure.
They were like, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay. That's gonna be for another episode.
I'll tell you later.
Another red flag: being too clingy.
Yes, and we could totally get that confused with, oh my God, he loved me. No, woman, he got issues.
Sometimes that shit ain't right.
I agree with that. That one's a big one. That's a big one that we usually like ignore.
So remember the guy that I told you that followed me?
Yes.
I didn't. There was definitely clinginess. Red flags in the talking stage,
but it didn't,
and I didn't see it.
Did you think it's like, oh my God,
he really wants? Yeah. I totally thought that.
Like he wants to know everywhere I'm at all times.
Totally pendeja shit.
He's like, put your phone on speakerphone so I can hear everybody.
I'm like, okay, like all right, boo, okay, babe. Not showing enough interest. Chase me, damn it.
Yeah.
So. I don't necessarily like to be chased. I like to be shown interest. I think there's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference. I don't need you to text me or chase me or right. I like to be shown interest. But to the point of that tarot card reader that I had, the tarot and the oracle reader, shout out to Star Tarot.
Dope episode.
Love her to that.
Dope episode.
Thank you.
I think I hit you up and I was like, yo.
You sure did. And I'll put it in the show notes if anybody wants to refer back to that, and hit up Star if you need an oracle or tarot card reader too. It's fucking amazing. She is like my go-to person. Like just like how I have an accountant, and when Stephanie becomes a lawyer, she's going to be my attorney. Star Tarot is now going to be my tarot and oracle card reader. What she said there, one of the parts was the chaser and the runner.
Okay.
And someone who doesn't necessarily like to be chased, when she put that into perspective for me, I didn't realize that a lot of the time I've been doing the chasing. Because when I love hard. And I want to be there, and I want to be involved, and I want to help, and I want to do what you need me to do, and I want to do even more than that, and I want to be available, and whatever you need, I'm there at your disposal. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And that was a very rude awakening, that as much as I don't like to be chased, I sometimes do the chasing.
Yeah.
So that was a very rude awakening, but it was an awakening for sure. Nevertheless. Absolutely.
I switch between both.
Okay.
Or at least I like to think I switch between both.
Okay.
Because there are definitely times I love to play hard to get.
Okay.
And I see the chase. But
I don't like to play
But there are times where... But don't lose... Here's the thing with me. Like, don't lose me. Like, once I'm no longer chasing after you. Like,
that's it.
It takes a long time for me to get back on the ride and be like, okay, you're interesting again.
Yeah. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Almost kind of like once I friend zone you, it's very hard to get out of that friend zone.
Oh,
I need to stop friend zoning people.
Oh,
I've noticed that a lot. I noticed I friend zone a lot of people who are like worthy of more.
so I actually have the ability to friend zone you after I'm over you, if I agree to be your friend.
I've done that before, but
I
I've
have that
never
ability.
had the other person be okay with being friend, like
I have
being
yet to
okay with.
confirm if another situation is on that path, but the other ones that I've done, they've
Mhm.
never been okay, and I'm not friends with them anymore.
Yeah.
So far, there's one that I've been able to maintain a friendship, but I don't know how far that's gonna last.
There's very few people I've had intimacy, like a level of intimacy with them that I can then transfer into like friendship level. I think I've only been able to do that with maybe like 2 people, and out
Okay.
of those 2 people, um, the only one that I stay connected with is the most recent one,
Okay.
right? And he's definitely, that's my road dog. Like,
Okay.
and we like even we'll talk to each other in different accents. Like that's my homie. um,
I like
but yeah,
that.
there are people where I thought like, oh, we're just friends, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's like, why do you feel some type of way because I'm like having an intimate relationship with someone else? I thought we were
Right.
friends.
Yeah. That makes sense. The last red flag, extremely self-centered.
I don't even mess with people who are self-centered. I just don't.
There are some pendejas who do.
I don't have the time.
I'm not one of those.
I don't have the time. But I'm also one of those people, like, listen, I know there's a lot of deficiencies, or a lot of like, I'm not perfect. I know there are certain places where I'm at fault at, and I can do better.
Right.
So I'm cool with people like, attacking me, or even picking at those little things that I need to work on.
Right.
But I have no motherfucking problem picking at your shit where I see like
Okay.
your confidence level is off. Which sometimes kind of hurts me, because it's like, pero, like you're attacking me, like,
Right.
and it's just like, no, I'm really just trying to be funny and like, just humble you a little bit.
Right.
But I really do love the guy that, or the significant other, or the other person who like has this high sense of themselves.
Okay.
And I find where those like I'm sick.
She's a masochist.
I do. I find where those like edges are that I know I can poke at, that will like, wait a minute, what? And I'll go straight for
and
it.
It turns you on?
Yeah.
It might. Yeah.
It kind of does when a person's like, wait, what? And I'm like, oh, I'm just playing. I don't mean it.
Okay.
But like now I know that hurts you. Like, I don't know.
So so I have to say this, like, I hate to fucking admit this, and Steph knows what I'm talking about. This is why I am sometimes turned on by the asshole.
Okay.
In general, if that makes sense. Like,
I get you.
You get it, right?
I'm here.
Yeah, she gets me. She understands what I'm saying. This is why. That part I totally understand you. It feels sometimes like a challenge.
Yes.
Like, oh, you think you can be that? I got you.
Yeah. But then, have you ever gotten checked? Like,
yeah,
and then
bitch.
It's like, oh, but why you being so mean?
Bitch,
it's like,
I've got checked.
Game for game, yo.
Which makes the situation worse, because the fact that you think you can check me, and you do check me, and then I allow you to check me.
It's like, now I'm mad I even gave you the opportunity.
Right, exactly. And not everybody gets that opportunity with me, but I gave it to you now, right? And so...
And it's all in what you do after the opportunity, right? Because when you've checked me, but then you can make it like, listen, I'm just humbling you. I don't really mean it, or whatever it is, right? Which can be bullshit. But when a person like knows that this hurts you, and I will use it every time to hurt you, that's when it becomes a problem.
That's definitely becomes a problem, and that's the part where I need, how we call ourselves pendejas. Like, I need some of us to open up our eyes and just realize that, like, there's a pure distinction. Just like I said, like, it's one thing to be chased, is another one to show interest, right? Yes. Like, I need you to show me interest as opposed to chasing me.
Yes.
Same thing applies here.
Yeah.
Same thing. There is a difference, and we just need to be vigilant to that. It's part of the detox and the cleansing. Believe it. Okay. Yeah. So those were the commentary for the survey, as far as like what we saw with red flags when it came to dating or to actual relationship, right? And I wanted to put that as a big basis of this conversation, because if 2020 taught us anything, and as I know this is going to sound so cliche, I know it's going to sound like, oh brother, but y'all, seriously, we noticed that fucking life is too fucking short. right?
It
In a
definitely
blink
is.
of a fucking eye, right? And I just, to the point of, no more second chances. Okay. There is a saying my mom used to say. Shout out to La Charo. Y'all already know. I love my mama.
Mm-hmm.
She would say, I'm gonna say it in Spanish and then I'll translate it to you guys. She would say, no escupas al cielo,
Oh,
que te va a
que te
caer en la
cae
cara.
encima.
Yeah, te cae encima, te
Yep.
cae en la cara. That means don't spit up high in the sky because it'll fall on your face.
Yep.
Right? And so, if I would sometimes say in front of my mom, oh, I would never. She was like, no, Disita, no, don't say that. She would cut me right there. So, in the essence of saying no more second chances, I'm not gonna sit here and say I would never again because my mama taught me
you can't
certain
say
ways,
never,
so
you
I
never
can
can
never
say
say
never.
never, right?
Yep.
But if we're gonna talk about second chances, just don't give the second chances or the same chances to the same toxicity. Just don't keep going into the same cycle over and over again.
Yeah.
Respectfully to that point.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'll lean towards that because it's some vicious fucking cycle some people keep going into. I am some people sometimes. So I'm going to admit that here. Like just get out of that. Get out of those cycles. Like establish your standards. I'm very huge these days on your non-negotiables.
Yes.
Okay. Y'all seen Russell Sierra, and I'm not saying they're going to be together forever, but they sure are on the right path to that. Okay. Like, there's certain non-negotiables. You're supposed to be able to identify that for yourself. Don't let nobody else identify it for you. Like, you're supposed to be able to know and determine, I'm able to negotiate this. I'm not negotiating this shit. I could compromise on this. I can never compromise on this. I agree. And bring that to the fucking table and talk about it. Yeah. Right? And that's how I think you can start off. At least kick it off a healthy.
And you need to know what, like you said, you need to know what are your non-negotiables, right?
Yes.
Like my friend, she's on this elevate your Pum Pum thing, right?
Oh, hold on.
She's literally on this elevate your Pum Pum thing, and she's like, Steph, you kind of need to like just elevate like where you're at. And I'm like, yeah, you definitely right. And there's certain things that I was like, oh no, that's all right. And she's like, is it? But is it? And you have to have those people that you trust and can have those conversations where it's like, I think this is okay. And you kind of have to go through it. Like, perfect example. I had a conversation with my friend where I was like, yo, guys who are crazy, like they give you the best sex, right? This is what she literally told me. And I was like, shit, that hit me in the head. She was like, is it that they give you the best sex, or is it that when you're having sex, this is the best that they're giving you? And so you automatically think like, wow, this is great. But it's not great. It's because they've deprived you of everything else that's great in the relationship that you think this is great. And I was like, you fucking bitch.
I'm going to need Steph to text her friend and ask her for permission for me to name this episode Elevate Your Pum Pum.
Yo, for real. I'm like, yo, seriously. And it's true.
Honestly, okay, I'm 30. I am Misty. I am Daisy. I'm 35 years old and I've never thought of it that way. But when you put it that way, it explains so much to me.
It does, right? Like it did to me. When they did it to me, I was sitting there like, oh, pero espérate. Wait, am I doing this all wrong? And it's true, right?
Right, because it's not that he's been giving me the best sex I've ever had. It's his best.
Yes. And because he's deprived you of so much. Like, because it's like you said, it's the little things that count, right?
Yeah.
It's he made me breakfast that morning, or he told me have a great day, or he made sure,
or because he paid
packed.
attention to one little thing I said, and he made that shit happen.
Right, exactly, right. Yeah. But when he's not doing any of those things, but the one time he's giving you the business, right, it's like the best of the best, and you automatically think like, oh wow, this is great. No, it's because he's depriving you of everything else he should be giving you.
Right.
I know that smacked me like bricks. I was like, wow.
That just goes to show you, like, and let that apply to all my singles out there. But even when it comes to some of my married couples, right, and some of my people out there who are married in relationships,
yes,
I am a firm believer that when it comes to two hearts, two minds, two souls, it becomes double the work, right? So I actually think that while I could sit here and say, oh, it's so hard being single out here, like I haven't gotten dick, oh my God, right? Fuck, to have to go through this notion with another whole person, like you said, like you gotta worry about another person's feelings, you gotta worry about all that shit, you gotta compromise, right? But when you think about that, right, when you have to think about this person being your forever, your spouse, and they're not always at their best, but the best that they're giving you is the best that they can give you,
yeah,
does that always meet what your non-negotiables are? Does that always meet your needs? Like, that's a scary fucking thought, right?
And sometimes you got to be honest about it too.
You have to.
Because even though this person, like, you know, meets every other requirement you may have, like, if they're not giving you that, then what are we really doing here?
Right. Exactly. I never thought of it like that. And I think for 2021, I'm really going to start paying attention to that. Not just for 2021, for the rest of my fucking life. But I'm going to start paying attention, because I never thought of it that way, but I am going to start paying attention to that. And let that be a fact even for me. Like, what am I also giving?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Am I really giving my true self and me entirely, or am I just giving you the best that I can give you because I'm not giving you everything else? You know what I mean? Like, I give you first of all, I give my best performance when I show the fuck up.
Yeah.
But is that really the best? Am I choosing that that's the best I'm going to give you in particular?
And I think for me, like, I'm a great nurturer. I know I'm a nurturer. Like, I'm totally there for you if you need the, like, hand holding, I need this and I need that. And I'm like, I'm totally the person who's going to, like, big up your emotional needs or your, you know, your confidence and your self-esteem.
Yeah.
I'm totally that person. And moving forward, I need to find someone who's going to also bring that to me. Because I feel like I give too much water to everything else. And then I depreciate the water that I need. And no one brings it back to me. Like,
yes.
And that's even with friendships, right? Like,
yes. Are we going to hit up friendships right now? So the next survey I posted up, a poll. Well, it's like just a questionnaire. Not even, it was just one question. It was definitely about what makes a friendship toxic. Okay. And so I did get some answers. And before we dive into those answers, I wanted to get your take on, you know, just 3 points of what makes a friendship toxic for you.
Okay. Respect.
Okay.
Disrespect.
Yeah.
That can be very toxic. I can just say disrespect because disrespect like overlines everything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like, you have those friends who, like, yeah, they give you confidence and whatnot, but they're quick to, like, talk you down when you've done wrong, and it's like, wait, but where's the respect for me? Where's that same amicable love that I give you? Like, right. But I don't know. For me, it's just the respect.
Okay, fair
respect
enough.
and time. Like, listen, friendship relationships are just like romantic relationships. Yeah. If you're not putting in the time and the work in it, then, you know, you're gonna get the exact same thing you're putting into it. Right. If I don't call up my friend, if I don't make sure that my friend is like, I'm meeting her needs, then she's gonna move on to the next friend who's gonna meet her needs, and I may feel some type of way about that. Right. Maybe that's another thing. Like, we need to realize that we can't meet all those needs. Oh, right. Oh, Steph with a word. We can't meet all those needs. Like, I can't be the person that you talk to lift up your confidence, and also be the person who holds you accountable, and also be the person who, like, tells you when your shit stinks. You know, like, you just can't be all those things, right? Just and there's a lot of things you can't expect from your intimate relationships, right? That you're getting from your friendships, right? Or what you're getting from your friendships, you can't expect that from your intimate relationship. That part I agree with you 1,000%. I do not expect my partner to listen to me like my best friend does when I need to vent. Yeah, I know. There's certain things. For one, there's certain things I will not go to him for. Okay. I will go to my best friend for. Okay. Because I'm gonna be like, bitch, do you know what the fuck happened? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain things. Like, I can't. There is a way that your partner could be your best friend, and you could go to him for anything. You could go to her for anything. You could anything and everything. But there's always gonna be those things you can only talk to your best friend about, like your bestie, your sidekick, your ace. I agree with that. You know what I mean? So, because then what will life be, right? And like, even your bestie, you got to remember that your bestie may not fulfill all your needs. Right, either, exactly. Right? Because there may be that friend that, like, lets you be as ratchet as ever. Your
Yeah.
bestie might maybe be like, yo, nah, you're not doing all that on my time. Like, that's not happening.
Right.
But that may be a need that you need to like get out of you, right? And there's only a certain person who's like willing to be like that person for you.
Absolutely. That makes perfect sense, actually.
Yeah.
You're right. So some of those, well, I'll give you what my red flags are for a toxic friendship. I'm going to be very transparent. I've talked about this in general before in previous episodes. I think there was an episode with, you guys know her from Everybody Relax podcast with Captain Kim. We've talked about relationships, but I've lost some friendships for different situations. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it had nothing to do with me. No, it absolutely did. Because whether I was left in the dark about a situation and then somehow those friendships just shattered, right? Because it was definitely with more than one person, or because I said what I had to say. I gave my opinion about something. I am true to what I think and what I feel, even if I am guilty of it myself, because I will hold myself accountable for something that I don't agree with, even if I'm the one who does it too. Okay. I've had friends who I've supported them on their endeavors. I've showed up. I've showed support in my own way. And the moment that I began my endeavor, which may have been in the same field or in the same industry or in the same space, I didn't get that support reciprocated at all. Not once. Not once. I've dealt with alleged friendships who I thought were sisters. You know, there are people who have telling eyes that have telling eyes. There are people who have telling faces. Okay. And so no matter how much they try to smile in your face, there are always other people who are able to, whoa, what the fuck is going on? Why is she looking at you like that?
Yeah.
You know? And you don't see it because you don't want to see it because you think this person is your friend, right? You're so involved in it. And it's taken me a while. And this year has truly revealed that. It revealed to me that not everyone deserves to be in your house.
Yes.
So you and I have spoken about this.
Yes.
Okay. I've allowed people to stay in my safe haven, sleep in my safe haven. And for what? For one moment, they just decide to just backstab you or turn their back on you, or because you speak your truth is a problem, you know? And let me make sure I make this very clear. It's definitely more than just one person, because to the point that I said before, I will help you. I will do whatever you need me. I'm there. Why someone kicked you the fuck out? No problem. Because I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to be kicked out in fucking garbage bags. So if you need that help, I'm gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like this is, and it's always when you extend not just your hand, your whole fucking arm, all the way up to your shoulder. Sometimes it feels like it's all on your back too, because you love this person so much. Okay,
I get it. Yeah,
like that level of toxicity when it's an ingrate at that point. I'm not gonna call them a bad person. I'm not gonna call them a shady person. I'm not gonna do all of that. But at that moment, it's an ingrate because you forgot. You forgot what this friendship was. You forgot what this sisterhood was. You forgot how much I overly extended myself to you. And the one moment you had a chance to turn your back, you fucking did it. And so at that point, that becomes the toxicity for me. That becomes a huge red flag. And that's people who just don't belong in your life anymore. No need to fight. No need to argue. They just don't belong in your life anymore.
I agree.
So we did get some of the answers, right, to the question itself about toxic friendships. And here are the answers that we got. Everything being a competition. One-sided. Jealousy, not aligned with your own goals, aka throws you off track from your success.
That's a big one.
Enabling.
Yes.
Gaslighting.
God.
This is the last one. I like this one. One person who is always hypersexual when it's been made clear that it's not that kind of party ever.
Yeah, that's not a friend.
That's not a friend. First of all, let me just, for the record, He knows who he is. Shout out to the person who gave me this answer. I'm not going to say his name. He's a dope person who I'm friends with. I am always hypersexual. That doesn't mean I'm trying to fuck everybody. Okay. Let me just put that out on the open. Okay. But I understand that when it's that person who's always hypersexual and is always constantly like throwing at you in your face. So
I have a friend like that. He's always throwing the dick at me.
Yeah.
And I've already told him, like, bro,
it's not that kind
stop.
of party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you know if I want some.
And that can be a toxic friendship.
Yeah.
It can.
I feel like it eventually will be.
Because it's kind of like where are the boundaries drawn? Like where are the lines?
I know. And I fear honestly, like, so people have thought like, oh, y'all have a relationship, like y'all like each other. And I'm like, hell to the no. Like, now that's my homie.
Right.
But then like he'll say, and it could just say, I'm a little fresca, I'm a little fresh. So like he'll say things and I'll be like, yeah.
I mean, who doesn't? That's me too.
Yeah, but obviously he doesn't understand the boundaries. So,
right.
Me being accountable, I need to stop speaking to him that way in that manner so he understands like this is not where we're at.
Right. No,
he
you're
always
right.
takes it there some way, and somehow I'm always like, well, I got a good answer for you.
Yeah.
Like,
don't tempt me and don't test me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my kind of line. Yeah, absolutely. I think when you think about these type of examples, these type of toxic friendships, I think it goes to show that those will forever exist, or they can forever evolve into that. Right.
Yes.
So it's definitely to the point of accountability. You have to hold yourself accountable how the shit is going to evolve and develop and flow. You have to know your boundaries. Maybe the other person is not going to always know their boundaries, but you have to know your boundaries, right? So do you always permit this? Do you always give them a pass? It doesn't just stop at friendships. Sometimes it's a working relationship. Sometimes it's a coworker. It's those signs of respect. Like, I've never spoken to you like that, so don't think you could talk to me like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's etiquette too.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for everything. I am one who sometimes says shit that it just rolls off my tongue. And a lot of the times it's the wrong place at the wrong fucking time. And so for me, I've definitely had to check myself a few times too. I've had to reflect back on those instances too. Because majority of the time, ha ha ha, tee hee hee, it could be funny.
Yeah.
But then there's always going to come a time and a place where it's not going to be so funny.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I
had a boss that we had not identified, because at one point she wasn't like a boss. I mean, she was always at a higher rank than me. Mm-hmm. But at one point she wasn't a boss. She was more my equal. Right. When she did become the boss, it was very like hard to navigate the situation. Okay. Because what I thought was okay may no longer be okay with you. And what I thought wasn't okay was still okay with you. Like, I remember having a brunch for my birthday party, and I specifically did not invite her, thinking, you my boss. Right. Like, I'm it's my birthday. I'm definitely getting twisted. Right. And I think it was like one of those, like, milestones, like a 30 or something like that. And I was like, I'm definitely 35. I'm definitely getting twisted. Yeah. I'm definitely going to get, and I invited other people who worked with me, but I did not invite her because she was my boss. Mm. And I remember her feeling some type of way. Yeah. And then I, in retrospect, I feel like I should have had a conversation with her and explained it to her. Right. But at the same time, I feel like you should know your position and understand where why I'm doing what I'm doing. Absolutely. Instead, I was attacked for, oh, well, you took everyone else out and you're being drunk. Yeah, I'm not the boss. Like, right. I didn't take the interns out. Right. No, I agree. That makes sense too. Even when it does come to the workplace. No, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. You learn how to identify those too. Yeah. Yeah. You can't trust everyone. And it's also what you allow people to do, right? There's people who like see you as, oh, you're younger, or you may be newer to the company, so they bring you under their wing, and as soon as you like, okay, I got this, they kind of no, they want to like hold you down as a parent, and it's like, you're not my parent. Like, yeah. Yes, I was under your wing. Yes, you taught me the ropes, but you're still your own person. Yeah, you're still an adult. Yeah, I feel you. That's actually a perfect entry to the next segment, the double or nothing, because we just mentioned relationships at work, co-workers, family sometimes too. There could be toxicity in that too. And just notating like what's acceptable, what's not, to allow those interventions, right? Because again, this is a full cleanse and a full detox. We are going to title double or nothing when it's going back okay. And we're going to keep this very short and simple because we don't need to dive into when it's going back okay, because in my opinion, it's never okay. It's just never okay. Remember what we said before. It's not about I'm never going. No, it's just about breaking away from
toxic cycles, breaking away from the same shit.
Yeah.
Right. Different year, same shit. Right.
Yes.
So in the essence of breaking away from that, in an essence of, when do you forgive and forget? Like, do you see that as something that we can still do? Is it still allowed? Can we still do that without going back to the same bullshit? Even if it is family, like, do you give family a pass?
It all depends on the situation, right?
Okay.
But I do believe that, like, if you're really intentionally gonna forgive, then you kind of have to let go. Don't forget. I don't think you should forget.
Okay.
But you need to let go of, like, the resentment and the feeling of it, right?
Right.
But I don't think you should forget. I think you should remember how people have treated you and what people have done, to kind of understand where this relationship will go from there.
Right.
You definitely have to let go, because people do change. People do become
True.
somebody else, and they learn from, their bad habits. But you always have to remember that this may never, you have to take into consideration that this may never be what it used to be. Right? Like, this may be a friendship, but it's never going to be the friendship it was.
Right.
This may be this may not be a relationship, but this may be a new friendship or a new type of relationship.
Right.
But it's never going to be what it was.
People grow and outgrow.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And they grow into, when people outgrow, they grow into a whole new person.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes that happens when they're doing their own self-growth, their own self-discovery. Right.
I don't believe in, like, oh, I've been working on me, let's get back together. No, stay away from that guy.
Or girl.
Or girl. Yes.
Yeah.
Stay away from that person.
Yeah. It's actually comical. Steph just said this.
Stay away from that person, because they always, I've changed.
Have you?
Like, exactly.
Have you? Let's go down the line of the things you probably should have changed.
Yeah.
Where are you with this? Let's do this.
I love that I have changed, but you're still doing the same thing. It's like, no, you really
Yeah.
haven't changed.
Yeah. And again, this is not about, being fucked up to anyone. It's not about being shady. It's just, this is a fucking detox. It's a fucking cleanse. Like, open up your eyes, open up your ears. Like, you wearing contacts, go use wedding drops. I don't know, whatever. But just realize that there are bigger, I wear contacts. There are bigger pictures out there that we need to fucking see. Yeah. A lot of shit you don't even realize that you think you're seeing, but it's all blurred fucking lines. All of it. And you gotta, and we're so big on read between the lines. No, fuck that. Stop reading between the lines. Stop it.
Sometimes it is what it is.
It just is what it is. And take it for what it is. And keep it fucking pushing. Yeah. Keep it fucking moving. Absolutely. So we don't forget. We can forgive, let go of the resentment. Doesn't necessarily have to be that you go back to the same bullshit. Family doesn't get a pass.
No.
Not these friendships. None of those type of relationships get a pass. Just remember that you're going into a new year, new me. Fuck that. Make your resolutions. I talked about this in this week's minisode. Make your resolutions. Do it for yourself. Do it for who you want to evolve into being, right? Because every year we're evolving. We're still here on this earth. So why not? Fuck it. Rock out with it, evolve, be a better version of yourself, right? Because whatever you learned,
do it for you.
And do it for you. Whatever you learned this year, just add to that shit.
Yeah.
And be even better next year. But with that, just open up your eyes, listen carefully, and pay attention to your surroundings, to the people around you, to the people in the circles, right?
Because that's all influencing you.
Everything.
And it's all bringing energy to you.
Everything. I don't take for granted the movie Meet the Fockers. One of the things he said was the circle of trust. When he puts that note, he tells him, like, he no longer trusts him. The little dot, he was outside the circle.
Yeah.
Like, think of your life as that, right? Think of your element as that.
I would just say be careful who you put in the circle.
Right.
Because, like, there's sometimes you put people in the circle thinking, like, oh, no, this person has my back. And it's like, you need to be careful who you put in the circle.
Just be careful. Be cautious. Be cautious. Like, we don't have time.
And I also feel like sometimes we hold our friendships to a higher standard than we hold our, like, intimate relationships.
Ooh.
And, like, is that really fair?
That's something to think
right?
about.
Is that really fair that we hold, like, shouldn't your intimate relationship be held to a higher standard than your friendship?
You know what? I never thought of that either, but you're right. I'm laying fucking naked next to this fucking person, completely fucking bare. It should probably be the other way around. You're right.
Yeah, like,
because I don't lay naked with my best friend.
Yeah.
No. I mean, we've seen each other because we changed in hotel rooms on girl trips.
Yeah.
But it's a different
Yeah,
level
like
of
it's a
fucking
different,
intimacy.
it's a different vulnerability.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's your true self. It's who you are.
Or it's supposed to be, at least.
It's right? Because some people could just wear it right at the surface of their skin.
Yeah, some people are way more genuine with their friends than they are with their intimate relationships.
Oh, listen, I have my thoughts on that shit. Like, if you're that person that you pretend to be one way with the person you are linking next to, and then you go and you pretend to be a completely different person around your friends, and you're anywhere above 30, you got issues.
Yo.
I just needed to put that shit out there. I did not want to make the double or nothing so in depth because I wanted to just hit it. You know what I mean? I wanted to be that double dose, that double or nothing. Real quick, just take it. That's what I wanted.
Take that.
We're gonna take that. We're gonna go right into the overdose now. And of course, the overdose is the end of the show, and that's perfectly fine because we're gonna make this one a good one too. Okay? We're not here to we're also fucking lit with champagne, so let me just be honest, but we're not here to make this, it's a detox, it's a cleanse. What do cleanses and detox usually last? 3 to 5 days tops? Yeah, so we're gonna make this shit quick. It's supposed to hit you quick. It's supposed to be a good turnaround time, and that's good. So overdose, it's either a wrong rant on something that we're pissed off at or had us in a great vibe, in the essence of keeping the detox and cleansing going, right? Okay. And I hope this stays with all of you guys on this beautiful New Year's Eve. We gonna say fuck you to 2020, and we're gonna say what up 2021. What's good? That's what we're gonna say.
What you bringing?
Because I know what I'm bringing. What are you bringing me? Let's meet halfway. New Year's resolution. I gave 3 of mine on this week's mini-sode. Okay, dropped on Tuesday. Make sure you check that out, guys. I don't think they're overrated. Okay, I think they could be very realistic still, and I think they could be very useful.
Yes.
I wanted to know from you, not necessarily your New Year's resolution. If you want to share at least one with me, that's great.
Okay.
But what is the number one thing you are looking forward to for 2021?
I think the number one thing I'm looking forward for 2021 is like just being accountable to myself.
Beautiful.
There's many times where I say I'm going to do something, and because it's to me, I can get away with not doing it. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, if I'm willing to, like, say Daisy, I'm definitely going to be there Wednesday. I'm going to be there, no problem. And I'm there, then I should do the same to myself. Like, Steph, we're going to go to the gym. No, we're definitely going to go to the gym. Or like, Amen. Steph, we're going to eat veggies, then we're definitely going to eat veggies.
Okay.
Whatever it is. Or Steph, we're going to take this outside. Like, we're definitely going to take this outside.
We're all taking the outside. I'm going to make sure we all showing up to take this outside.
Like, definitely. And I also have, like, a lot of dreams and like career goals, not so much career goals, but things I kind of want to like manifest and do, and I want to see if I can get those like off the ground and see what they become.
Yes.
I want to put myself in positions that I've never put myself in. Like, I totally appreciate you like letting me do this with you.
Ooh.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm totally scared of speaking my mind. I speak a lot. Oh my God, don't get me in a room with people. But I'll talk my mind all day. But this has taught me like just be genuine with yourself and see where it goes. And I don't know, maybe I'll do something like this or write a book or something.
Yes,
we'll see. We
all writing books, girl. We gonna get there.
I got stories. I got good stories, and I love my stories. They're funny as shit.
I love them too. She been sharing some with me.
I feel like I think everyone lives their lives and has like a story they can tell. Yeah. Right? It's just in how you look at things. Yeah. And I've always been a funny person. I always like to laugh at things. So I always find like the comedy in life, because there is so much tragedy that you have to see the comedy in life. Even in the most tragic of times. Like there's some funny shit that goes down and you're like, yo, do you remember? Do you remember when this happened? It's like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened.
Sometimes you just
gotta
laugh.
It's the most tragic moment in your life, but you kind of have to laugh it off.
Absolutely. I have to agree with you 1000%. That's definitely where I'm shifting this entire mindset with. Like, y'all, we fucking survived 2020.
Yeah. Like, how fucking funny was 2020? Like, how crazy was it?
It was a lot.
Right?
Like, now, today, and all that it was a lot, and I'm just gonna laugh at it. I am.
There was a lot of crazy shit that happened that you would have not expected.
Ever. Absolutely. I completely agree with you 1000%. And we're still here drinking champagne.
Yes.
giving y'all a New Year's Eve special episode. And we're good. We're lit.
Yes.
I shared 3 of my resolutions in my mini-soda this week. By now, y'all must have tuned in and already heard it. But I will share one more. Right?
Okay.
It's a quick one. Definitely procrastinated and put on the back burner. I was planning to do it for 2020. And with all the madness, it just didn't happen.
Okay.
I am finally going to push forward and get my fucking license. It is time.
Get it.
It is time. It is time. It is time.
Yes.
There are certain goals that I have put in place for myself, certain plans that if I am
knock on wood,
no longer here in NYC, I'm definitely going to need a car.
Yes.
So I need to get that going. It is time. I'm going to do it in 2020. Oh, I'm going to do it in 2020. And then 2020 hit and turned this all upside down and it didn't fucking happen. So the appointment has been made to the DMV. So we're going to get this started. Yes. No, it's time. That's it. It's good. And the other thing I look forward to in 2021, you guys already know the brand is happening. It's been leveled up. You guys already know the highs of 2020. Certain steps that I've taken that I'm so proud of. But in 2021, the one thing that I'm looking forward to, and I will end it on this note because I know I'm going to get emotional and I'm going to get choked up. Y'all already know I take pride in my teenage son. That is my boo. That's my first greatest creation before this podcast. He is graduating the 8th grade. And I am a very extremely proud single mother who has gotten this kid this far in one fucking piece.
Yes.
And I take a lot of fucking pride in that. Steph,
you better,
knows my son since he's a fucking baby.
Yep.
Okay. And she has seen certain evolutions of us, right? And it hasn't always been easy. Steph knows his father. Steph knows a little thing or two. Yeah. And I'm very fucking proud of where the fuck I am today, and most importantly, where the fuck my kid is. And I'm so excited to fucking celebrate this shit in 2021 because he has truly shown so much resilience in just having to adjust to a whole new life of going to school and killing it. Absolutely fucking killing it. And I'm just fucking proud. I'm very, very happy. So I'm looking forward to that. So on that note, Steph.
Thank you.
This is
always
fun.
fun.
I love this. Y'all already know Steph is coming back in 2021.
I definitely am.
She definitely is. Because I'm always going to have some shit to talk about with Steph. This has been real. It's been This has been an exciting journey on the pod. It has been a very interesting year. We are excited to welcome 2021. By the time you guys listen to this, I'm sure there's still a few more hours to spend it with your family. Have some good food. Y'all already know I'm going to be drinking my coquito that Steph bought me. Some of y'all will be having pasteles, arroz con gandules. Yes. Some of y'all in your cultures have certain foods too that you eat.
Yes.
So please post those pictures. If y'all want, y'all could
make sure you got the yellow underwear.
The yellow underwears and the 12 grapes.
Yeah.
So at midnight you have those.
And make sure you got money in your pocket.
Money in your pocket. I heard that too.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. If you gotta cry it out. If you have someone to kiss them. If you don't, go look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yo,
I'm a bad bitch.
I'm a bad bitch. You look good, my man. You look good. That's it. That's all you gotta do. We're just gonna click these little glasses over here and wish you all a happy is it a happy new year? Yeah. Happy new year. Goodbye 2020.
Yes.
And welcome to 2021.
Woo!
You guys already know it's another week and another episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. I'm your host, Miss D, and you guys, as always, will tune in next week. Bye. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And we are streaming on all platforms. Check us out on Apple and Spotify. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Now let's talk about it.